Hey, good Friday morning from Circuit World in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It is great to be back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's been a couple weeks since we've been live here. It's 2019. When we last left you here at Circuit World, it was 2018, right? Well, at least I can figure that out. We know that much, right? I'm your host, BKP. We are right back at it. 2019, we're going to have Ask the Doc here at 8:05, just a couple minutes. We're going to have Ask the Doc right in here with Dr. William Whaley. Right after that, we're going to have our all-star political panel. They'll be in here, and I wonder if there's anything to talk about with the all-star political panel. I think a couple things are out there. And then right after that, North Georgia Senior Living with our good friend, the Community Relations Director from Cameron Hall, Jesse Barton. And on top of that, last but not least, we'll start 2019 with our star of the show, the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Whew, we got a lineup today. It's going to be great. I'm excited. The place is almost empty here. They're restocking. I mean, wow, you guys came in here and cleaned the place out of Circuit World. The first thing Dr. Whaley said when he came in is, where are all the TVs? Well, you got them at home watching us on TV because you bought them all for Christmas. Hey, listen, I hope everybody had great holidays. We're going to get started back. Nancy Pelosi is Speaker of the House. How does that make you feel? Dun, dun, dun. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. Power, man. That lady's got the power. She's got the gavel. And she has going to be in a meeting with Donald Trump versus Nancy Pelosi. You know, the only thing that's missing here is like Vince McMahon, the guy at the WWE, right, that does the wrestling. You know, if we could have like a pay-per-view on Saturday night and Nancy Pelosi on this side of the ring and Donald Trump on this side of the ring, and we have a big-time WWE event. But that might happen today at 11:30. The Democrats and the Republicans are going to get together and go meet with the President of the United States. Oh, the government's shut down. You know what interests me, and I'm going to say this, I guess I'll start the year and get in a little trouble right out of the box at 8:03. But I look at the pictures that the media tries, the media tries to set something up. Everything you see when you're watching the news, every single thing is something they are trying to set up that they want you to see a certain way, period. No discussion on that. So they have set up to go to the parks and do what? Take pictures of the trash cans. So we are inundated with a bunch of pictures of parks with trash cans, trash rolling everywhere. And I just always wonder, who are the people in America that know the trash can's full but just keeps throwing the stuff on top of it? Who are those people? Who are the people in America that go to the park and look at the trash can and say, oh, it's full, let's put our little trash together as a family, or whoever you are, and when we leave the park and go out, we'll find somewhere to get back to our country, not throw our trash on the ground? I don't know. Am I wrong? But every time I see those pictures, I wonder, would you just throw your cup on the top of it, knowing it's going to fall on the ground, and then say, Donald Trump shut the government down, and I can't participate in any way whatsoever by picking up my trash and finding a can that's not overflowing? I don't know. I told you I'd start out the year in trouble. Maybe on the all-star political panel, I plan to get in a lot more trouble there. You got to tune in at 8:45 for that. But next, Dr. Whaley Ask the Doc. Dr. William Whaley, we're going to start the year with some great questions. We're going to take a break, and he'll be up in just a couple minutes.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host BKP, and we're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Beautiful Friday morning. I know what they just looked back and said, really, it's rained like 29 straight days. We're okay. Promise you, we're okay. So we're going to call it a beautiful day no matter what. Ask the Doc. Now it's time for Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, brought to you by Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital. Happy 2019. Good to have you back.
Now, you just gave me 2 intros.
Did I?
Yeah. One, I love to watch the rain, and we finished the year December 31st up 17 inches over average. We finished the year before 13 inches over average, and we're now 0.3 inches over average for the first 3 days. Now, why that's
You keep up with the rain.
I do keep up with the rain. I've talked about this before. So if you go back here, remember we had a bad drought.
Yes.
And people were having to dig their wells deeper and go back and do it again. So this, I think, probably is going to reestablish our water table. And people talk about global warming and they're sucking too much water out of the ground, and Dallas and Houston are going to go bad because there won't be any water. This is the kind of thing that makes me feel like God's protecting us and global warming isn't going to go away. And now, Jeremy, hey, there are not any televisions in here. Jeremy, you need to listen to me here.
Hey, Dr. Whaley's ordering some TVs. You better pay
Jeremy,
attention.
I'm talking to you now.
Sorry.
Are these were smart TVs that you sold, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you they got things where you can make sure children don't watch anything. Did you program where they can't watch Nancy Pelosi and have to watch football? Or did you leave the Nancy Pelosi chip still in there?
No, we took the chip out.
Chip is out.
No Nancy Pelosi chip. Okay, well, good. Then I don't
Well,
feel
we
so
are.
bad.
Dr. Whaley is ordering some more TVs. We noticed there's a lot of TVs.
I just didn't want them to have a Nancy Pelosi chip. As long as it's got the football chip, I'm fine.
Let's get to our
All right, we got to go to work here. And one more thing. You were talking about Nancy Pelosi and the new Congress. Now, you remember a couple of years ago, there was this great criticism of our Congress because the last World War II veteran had left.
Mm-hmm.
There were very few combat veterans. There were people who'd been in the service in Vietnam but had maybe been in supply, not the point of the spear. You saw that picture.
That would be Richard Blumenthal.
You saw that.
I'm sorry, I just had
That'd
to
be
say.
John Kerry. You saw that picture yesterday of the 3 congressmen missing leg, arm, and eye. Now, I don't know anything about their politics, but there are 3 guys in Congress today who are at the tip of the spear, lost a leg, lost arms, lost 2 legs, lost both legs, didn't he? Both legs, lost an eye, lost an arm. So maybe we'll get a little more, I love this country and I gave part of my body to it. So I'm grateful for that part of the new Congress.
I don't think there's ever a day that we shouldn't wake up and be hopeful. Live in reality, but be hopeful.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, I was happy to see that picture of those 3 guys. Okay.
All
Now,
right.
You can read these questions. These are pretty easy. There's no big words. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know what he's trying to say. Anyhow, for those of you that are new to the show, sometimes I struggle with the 4 syllables. All right, and that's my goal for 2019, to get past that. It is true. Is it true? Is it true that my diet can directly affect my tumors' growth while I am trying to fight cancer?
I think the question was asked innocently, or it was asked by somebody who's got people telling them that your diet has to really change because sugar feeds cancer. You know, you've heard that one before. Or you need a supplement, we talk about turmeric and all that stuff, or you need to eat more broccoli because it's an antioxidant and it'll help you fight cancer. But when you actually are having your cancer being treated, or after treatment and you're in what we call the survivorship position, which we've talked about here frequently, about sexual function and exercise and stuff. So what they're really talking about, what the truth of the matter is, I guess, is 1, sugar doesn't feed cancer, and no, eating more broccoli isn't going to fight off your cancer. But the whole concept of energy balance in cancer is extremely important. Now, I stood up here a couple of weeks ago on a soapbox, if you'll remember, talking about exercise as a preventative and as an adjunct to the preventative for malignancy, which is proven to be, and an adjunct to survival and to the quality of life in the survivorship or post-treatment period. So if you go to the top, you don't even need your glasses. You can read this as big print. Energy balance in cancer. Okay,
right.
So the whole thing they're talking about here is that energy balance is really important. So that's three pieces, right? Josh and I were just discussing it. Physical activity is part of energy balance. Your diet is part of energy balance, and the weight that you begin with. They're collectively. Let's talk about the whole piece here. So, Josh, you can throw up that first thing there. Now, I don't expect anybody to read it, but I'm going to read you want to read it? Because this has got some of those bad words. You don't want to read it.
I don't want to read it.
Okay. The effects of low-fat, high-fiber diet and exercise program on breast cancer risk factors in vivo and tumor cell growth and apoptosis in vitro. So you glad I read that last word?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just an example of what scientific articles you'll find in the cancer journals every week. What it really talks about is what this whole concept, apoptosis means the death of a cell. Tumor cell growth means the growth of a cell. So this question was asked about, and let's read exactly how it was asked. Directly affect my tumor's growth. So direct effect would be apoptosis, killing it, or having it grow greater. So the diet actually, during the treatment of cancer, will have no measurable effect on the cancer cell during a period of chemo or radiation therapy. So now you're going to go to that next one there, the colon rectal cancer here. So now we're going to talk about risk factors, modifiable risk factors. Here is where the diet can have an effect on the causation of growth of a malignancy. So this says colorectal cancer, modifiable risk factors. You don't need to read everything, but it's red meat, processed meat, grilling and cooking. You remember we used to say that in Japan there was a lot more gastric cancer because they cooked their food on hibachis, and then you read, well, if you get a steak and you grill it, it gets too grilled, then that makes you have more colon cancer. And then the bottom is vegetables and fruits. You can just leave that up there, and I'm going to tell you an interesting story. One of the most famous malignancies that exists is called Burkitt's lymphoma. And this Dr. Burkitt was an Englishman who went to Africa in a period after World War II, and for a budget of about $200, mostly in stamps, pencils, and paper that he wrote down notes on, a couple $100, he identified a altitude in Africa that's associated with a high incidence of a malignancy called Burkitt's lymphoma. Just think about Hodgkin's disease. And that altitude happened to be the altitude where a certain mosquito lived that transmitted a viral infection to the natives that lived there that precipitated the lymphoma. So he became famous making the observation that if you lived at an altitude that didn't have that mosquito, you didn't get the lymphoma. It was sort of the first epidemiologic observation of cancer causation. He becomes more famous because he noted, and I don't want to get too graphic here, but he noted that the African native has an average bowel movement weight per day of about 1/2 to 3/4 of a kilogram. That's 1 to 1.5 pounds of bowel movement. Because they ate, now this is in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, a diet that was very high in what do they call that? Yams, roots, tubers, high in fiber. and that Western Europeans, he's an Englishman, but more so Americans who eat low fiber diets may not have but say 3 bowel movements in a week, and those generally when they have them are formed like that and weigh 100 grams. So it would take 15 of those to equal 1 day's colon output of a native African. He was then able to link that observation to the fact that they have much lower incidences of colon cancer, much lower incidences of high blood pressure and heart disease than Western Europeans and Americans. Now, I've told you about this before, so let's just make the link that my wife is right. There's something in that can that will cause me to get cancer, or that the organic food purveyors are right, and that the wax on the apples that you buy in the grocery store may cause cancer, and if you get an organic apple that didn't have pesticides and doesn't have wax on it, it won't cause cancer. So if we're eating the diet, American diet, where that stuff out of here or that wax on that apple sits in our colon for 24 hours before being evacuated by a stool, and it's harmful, that it will cause more damage than if you were an African and you have 6 or 8 of these stools a day and you pass a pound and a half a stool. It's in lower concentrations there for a shorter period of time. Now that's kind of complicated, but does it make sense?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, so we're back to the question again.
Just no test.
Does diet affect tumor growth while trying to fight cancer? Okay, so yeah, you got that pick one. Let's go to this next one here. That big. All right, so we're just talking about fiber, right? Now we're getting you back to selling over there. What's that say?
Whole grains.
Whole grains, okay. Now, the average American eats 15 grams of fiber per day or less. The recommended amount is 35 grams of fiber per day or more, and that African eats 50 to 100 grams of fiber per day. So this is just telling you that plain popcorn and oatmeal and brown rice has fiber on it. But I always tell people that if you eat cereal, Fiber One cereal has 15 grams of fiber in one bowl and only 70 calories, and All Bran Plus has 14 grams of fiber in a bowl and only 70 calories. You get a lot more fiber per calorie than you get by eating popcorn or oatmeal. And so if you're trying to improve your chances of getting cancer, I'm going to come to another one in just a minute, then eat yourself a bowl of Fiber One in the morning and put a bunch of fruit on it, and then you get your fiber up, and that then can decrease the amount of cancer-causing material that sits in your colon. We're talking about colon cancer alone. Got that one?
Right.
All right. Now here.
Because I like oatmeal. No, I like oatmeal and popcorn.
Good. Well, that's good. So you're on the ball
now.
now.
I eat oatmeal and popcorn.
Two other things that and I'm going to go back for colon cancer. We'll stick with
popcorn for breakfast, oatmeal for lunch.
We're sticking with we're sticking with colon cancer again. We've already said that exercise lowers the incidence of colon cancer. So now we say increasing the amount of fiber lowers the incidence of colon cancer. I've always told you that by the time you get to be 40, unless there's allergy to aspirin, it causes you to have asthma, or you have gastric bleeding, or you've had an ulcer, everybody ought to be taking at least a baby aspirin and an adult aspirin because of your heart. Well, an aspirin a day lowers your chances of getting colon polyps, I've mentioned before, by about 20%, and lowers your chances of getting colorectal cancer by somewhere between 17 and 25%. So just focusing on colon cancer and answering that question, increasing your fiber in your diet, taking the aspirin, exercising, and modifying your weight, all would attack colorectal cancer. Now you can just change the label. It does exactly the same thing for breast cancer and prostate cancer, but the analogies are easier with colorectal cancer when you think about that concentration of cancer-causing materials sitting in your colon between one bowel movement and the next, and you have 48 hours or 24 hours there where that African has 6 hours there. Is that enough?
Yes, it is.
Did I bore you?
No, you did not.
All right, Josh. Okay.
No, you did
All right.
not. I picked up a lot on that one. We want to thank the Georgia Cancer Research Center affiliated with Northside Hospital for this segment. And our second question of the day this morning is, what causes a child to sleepwalk or set up and talk during their sleep? It is not an every night thing, but the nights it does happen, it happens multiple times before he rests thoroughly. And I'm going to say this. I mean, I remember I used to think it was humorous when their children were little and go in the room and they'd be talking, in their sleep. I used to think that was humorous. And both of my kids talked in their sleep when they were little. And one slept with their eyes open. I'm probably in big trouble, and that was always scary to me.
Did you think that was normal behavior, average behavior, or very unusual behavior?
I thought it was normal.
Great, you're right.
You're
right. Okay.
I thought it was normal.
First of all, I'm not going to make you do it, but put up that chart there, Josh.
Now, I don't know about the sleepwalk and the sitting up.
I'm getting there in a minute. I'm getting there in a minute. Okay, Josh has got a chart up. I'm not going to make you read it, but this says, overview of parasomnias. That's why I'm not going to make you read it.
I can handle parasomnias.
Okay, and sleep-related movement disorders in children.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to stick to the left-hand side pretty much. The first one is disorders of arousal from non-REM sleep. And you'll find everything they're talking about here. Confusional arousers, sleepwalking, and sleep terrors.
Right.
If you switch over to the ones that are parasomnias associated with REM sleep, that's non-REM sleep, then you get nightmares, you get nighttime urination in the bed when kids wet the bed in their sleep. Now, people think, oh my God, but kid's asleep. How does he? That is a normal behavior in a certain percentage of patients. And then there's what's called sleep paralysis, where you can't move. And then there's sleep behavior disorders. And there's lots and lots and lots more as you go across here. Now, this is the interesting thing. I got two studies for you. First of all, this occurs in young children, and it generally is totally outgrown by the time they become adolescents. Second is risk factors. There's a familial link. If you take twins, identical twins, versus fraternal twins, if it occurs in one identical twin, it tends to occur in the second twin more than if it occurs in one fraternal twin to the other fraternal twin, but it's actually higher in the second fraternal twin than it is in kids in the same school. In other words, it runs in families, but it's even more common in kids that have the same genetics. Is that making sense to you?
Yes.
Now, if your father was a sleepwalker and your uncle was a sleepwalker and your grandfather and your great uncles were sleepwalkers, what's the chances you're going to be a sleepwalker? A lot more than the guy who has no sleepwalking in his family. Now, I want everybody to listen to this. Sometimes we go blow smoke here. We're not blowing any smoke. Young children aged 2.5 to 6 years in a large study, parasomnias were ubiquitous. 88% of normal kids manifest at least one parasomnia during a period of 5 years of observation. Now, 88%, Josh, is that pretty close to 100? So that your kids were having normal behavior. Now, your sleep terrors or night terrors were the greatest. That was 40%. Sleepwalking, where they actually get up and walk around,
right,
15%. Nighttime sleep urinations, where parents just go, oh my God, I had to change the bed. I mean, as a kid, 1 out of 4 kids did that, 25%. Now, I got one for you, Josh. What's bruxism? Grinding of the teeth. All right, teeth grinding was 46%, so that's the highest. And then rhythmic movement disorder. Remember last week we had a question about what happens when you're asleep and your arms do this?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rhythmic sleep disorder, 9%. So close to 10% of normal kids between the ages of 2.5 years and 6 years will have one of these things happen to them if they live in Quebec, Canada. No, that's where the study was done. So basically, what causes this is it's normal. Should you panic? And the answer is no. Generally, except for sleepwalking, they're gone by the time kids are 7 or 8. Sleepwalking can persist into adulthood, as you know, but generally by the time they're in early adolescence, say 11, 12, 13, or senior high, all of those behaviors will be gone.
Okay,
is that reassuring?
Yeah, but that you said that, and you kindly answered a second part of that question I was going to have. Outside of the wetting the bed, how many of those things kindly carry on through adulthood? Which are the most? None
of them.
None of them.
No, basically, well, let's say sleepwalking might, but
because I know adults that sleep still, and I hear stories that they get a bite thing because they grind their teeth.
Yes, but that's a different.
Is that different? Is that not something they're carrying over from childhood?
No,
that's something you develop later.
You develop later. Yeah,
okay.
That's a good question though. And interestingly enough, the reason that parents are so upset, particularly for kids and does like that, is that if you look in here, it says these are complex behaviors. They include restless legs and everything else, and parents think that the children may have epilepsy and that they're having epileptic spells in the nighttime. Now, when we talk about grown-ups with restless legs, it's so common that when you're, say, 50 to 60 and your feet are doing that in the nighttime, your wife doesn't think you develop an epilepsy. She knows enough about restless legs to say you get restless leg syndrome. But when you see your 3-year-old doing that in the bed at night, I mean, it scares the heck out of a parent.
I can understand
particularly if it's a first child.
Yeah.
And you think, my gosh, my kid's got epilepsy when he fell out of the bed a few months ago. He had a head injury or something. So I really want to reassure this mother. Where was that thing here? Let's go back to that question. What can cause a child to sleepwalk? Okay, that was or sit up and talk. That's the second category there. During their sleep. Well, first of all, what causes it's normal. It's not something bad in the brain. You might say it's caused because you had it, or your husband had it, or your mother had it, your grandmother had it. But so it tends to be familial, and the causation it's a part of normal childhood, and it'll generally be gone away by the time they get in school. And if it's sleepwalking, it should be gone away by the time they get in middle school or in high school. And he says it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it happens multiple times in the same night, and that's basically true.
One of the things I think I got to back away from the word wrong, because that's the wrong word in this situation. I don't know where this brain is.
Incorrect word.
Incorrect.
Yes,
so I'm going to back away from the word wrong, but I think one of the things with kids today is they don't know anything about playing in the sandbox and eating dirt unbeknownst to their parents.
Correct.
You know, and I mean, unless you went out and made mud pies, and if you're 5 years old, I'm sorry, and the little girl, 4 years old, the only reason you let her in the sandbox is she knew how to make mud pies, and convince you to eat one of the mud pies. I mean, you're not living. I don't know. Did I just go off the rails?
No, you didn't. You remember we were talking about allergies and hand washing and all of that quite some time ago, and there's been a recent increase in the publicity that children need to be children. So they need to be exposed to dogs, exposed to cats, exposed to dirt on the ground, exposed to the playground, so that they get all of the normal immunologic stimuli between the time they can start learning to crawl and the time they enter school, so that they don't go in there like they've been in one of those life bubbles, and not exposed to everything, or when they get to school, get around other kids, they're going to be sick all the time. So eating dirt in the sandbox and falling down and scraping your knee and having a Band-Aid on your knee and falling down and hurting your elbow and digging in the dirt's normal. I mean, kids ought to do that again.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to save for next week in the effort of time my hand washing story. So remember, I've got a hand washing story, and I've got a popcorn. You got to remind me next week.
Popcorn hand washing.
Popcorn, and you got to ask me what a popcorn pillow is. All right, next week, and then I got to tell you a hand washing story. Thank you to Georgia Cancer. Thank you to there went my screen.
I don't care. Thank you to Georgia Cancer Specialists affiliated with the Northside Cancer Comprehensive. Whatever we are.
I have Georgia. Thank you, Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital, for this segment. And Dr. Whaley, I know you are ready to give us a 2019 first one of the year, something new that's happening in medicine or out there going on. So now, I know you're ready for this.
Last time we were here, which was 2 weeks ago, I pulled up the list of medical issues, and the number one was exercise. Then there was something else.
Oh,
and then
I remember.
Was exercise again, right?
Yeah. You emailed it to me.
I also had it here, though.
Yeah, I know.
I emailed it to you. I sent it to your wife.
Oh, I know.
I had it put on it was stuck to your windshield.
Move along.
We were talking here a few weeks ago when we got into talking about vaping. Actually, we're talking about the damages of the cell phone, kids having them at night and texting in the nighttime and getting poor sleep. This happens to be the exact list of the articles as they came out yesterday, about 150 of them. The first one, you can read that. Was it print too small? Good sleep helps kids become slimmer teens. Good sleep helps kids become slimmer teens. 2,500 kids, 20 U.S. cities, talking about what they do in the nighttime, go to bed, get 8.5 to 10 hours of sleep, not play on the cell phone.
You do not need a glowing computer screen across the room.
You do not, and you don't.
You
need
do not need that cell phone glowing.
No, you take the cell phone away.
Right, exactly.
You take it away when you get home from school, and you give it back to them after supper, and take it away an hour later to give it back after breakfast in the morning. Okay, now you've only got to go down one more, skip one, and then you get. This is a big title. We've been doing this for weeks. Opioid overdose triple among kids and teens. They're linking some of that opioid use back up to the poor sleep habit. Remember what I said about drinking the energy drink to get energy to go to school? And some of that opioid use to the pressures of the social networking when they're in the middle of the night, and I've even done what they call it, twit, or whatever it is.
Twitter.
Anyway, when they're tweeting,
Instagram.
Whatever they're doing at night is putting stress on those kids. They're
Snapchatting.
And then they go, I don't know about Snapchat, but
they
then they
do everything.
They go and they drink an energy drink. It makes them easier for them to go vape, and then they're dying of opioid overdoses, and that's all one big package, and I'm off my soapbox for the day.
I want to say this before we go. Well, thank you so much. You have been so helpful to this audience. I really want to be serious for a minute. You've been so helpful to this audience and the segments and the people that go back throughout the week and pull these different segments up and watch them. You've been personally helpful to me. I will tell you, I have done my own sleep study no, this is not a joke. You have talked to us here with me present about sleep.
Yeah.
I make sure this is off. I don't have it glowing. I make sure the room
Is it in another room?
Huh?
Is it in another room?
No, it is my alarm clock.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's how we have alarm clocks now. All right. So I make sure, but I have changed. There's no TV in the room. There's a lot of things that have changed that I made. Now I'm over my fear of sleeping in the dark now because, no, that's my joke. Okay. But seriously, I've changed so much, and I have noticed a difference in my sleep because I actually identify that area with a place where and that all came from you encouraging me to do that,
Well,
and
thank
those
you.
out there.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of other people in this special expert panel think I'm crazy,
I don't know who that would be.
including Mr. Gluckert.
Hands are going up. Whoa. Dr. Whaley, thank you very much. What a great way to start 2019 with Ask the Doc at Georgia Cancer Research
And
Center.
remember, we have 3 congressmen now who've been at the tip of the spear and have lost a leg, an eye, or an arm, and are combat veterans in the new Congress. I don't even know whether Republicans or Democrats, but
They're there.
I hope they're there. They're there, and it makes me happy.
There's a Georgia Cancer Research Center affiliated with Northside Hospital. If you want a question, if you want to get a question to Dr. Whaley, you send it to info, I-N-F-O, at fetchyournews.com. Put in the subject matter there, the line there, ask the doc, and we will get it over to Dr. Whaley. We send him the questions hopefully every midweek so he can prepare for the show, and as you can see, he goes through them very thoroughly. You'll get a great answer, and if we can't get to your question, he will respond. Okay, so send them to us, info at fetchyournews.com. Ask the doc. Thank you very much for this 2019 great opening to this segment. We have another great opening 2019 segment right after these commercials. The All-Star Political Panel. We have the 2 lovely ladies and Rick. That's who they are. The and Rick. We have the 2 lovely ladies and Rick. We'll be right here, and we've got a lot to talk about. Take us a break, Josh.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Okay, we're back, folks, and yes, this is our first program for 2019 from Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Our first 2019 All-Star Political Panel. Bruce, congratulations, Bruce and Barb, new grandchild, and they're working their way back up to North Georgia today from Baton Rouge. So they'll be back, but glad to have Rick, Candace, and Jane here. Okay, this except for Bruce, we always let Bruce, and every once in a while Rick brings notes, okay? And Bruce has a folder, but we kindly take the 45 minutes and just go with it and see where we end up, throw some topics out if you're new to the show this year, and see what happens. Now, I want to start out with this, okay? We've got so much, from Nancy Pelosi, don't everybody start cringing yet, okay, to the shutdown. But I want to show of hands. Okay, show of hands. Don't show your hands yet. Okay, no jazz hands.
Yeah.
Okay, but show of hands, Rick, Candace, and Jane. How many of you, and I know it's a broad story, how many of you trust the government? Okay.
Which part? Cricket.
So there's parts.
There's
okay.
parts.
Okay, there's parts. How many of you generally don't trust the government? Okay. I'm going to tell you mine so you'll understand when we're going, because people don't believe this story. Okay.
Another one?
And, you're funny already. What was the time? Who had the over-under
we were
on
37 seconds in.
In 2019, who had the over-under on Rick 2 minutes in? All right. Okay, so When did you, and this is the question, we're not prepped for this, I just was thinking about it. I was having a conversation with somebody, and it came up. When did you actually come to terms and say, I don't trust the government?
Wow.
Now, for me, it was somewhere around, because I don't like to give my age and time, but it was easy there. It was somewhere around 5 years old.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, it was somewhere around 5 years old for me. Because they took us to the gym cafetorium, okay? 'Cause back then we didn't have a E-Splosh, and we didn't build $9 billion worth of buildings in the county. So we had in our little elementary school, we had a gymnasium, then we had it doubled as a cafeteria and tripled as an auditorium. So, right?
Didn't have curtains at the end with the little
Absolutely.
stage.
It was a gym cafetorium, right?
Right.
But let's say it was somewhere around 1969. And we're getting ready to start school. Let's just say I'm around 5, it's around 1969, I'm getting ready to start school, and we get this letter in the mail that we have to be there on this date at this time to line up all of these kids along the wall and get up to a table, and then they filled out a piece of paper, and some guy said, and shot you in the arm.
Yeah,
And I said, there's something about this. And I was 5.
Are
I
you
swear to God. I
kidding?
swear to God. I said, something about this that don't work.
And look where you are now.
Precocious children got
Yes.
to be precocious.
So I don't know that I've ever trusted the government. But that is a true story. That is when, somebody asked me, that is when I
You
really
thought
said.
about that at 5.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. I said something's not right with this.
Your haircut looks
They're lining us up.
So you equated
Enough?
education with the government at that point
Or
in
getting
time.
a shot in
Right,
a school
lining
as
us up
opposed
in
to
a
a
line.
doctor's office. You're in a school. And
Yeah, giving us,
that's pretty
lining
smart.
us up.
That's pretty smart.
And everybody got a shot, and everybody went home with a shot, and I was like, something about this.
Yeah.
I mean, the other kids, they're worried about whether it's
Right.
chocolate milk, whole milk, getting the blocks and crackers and graham crackers.
Yeah.
I was concerned I was lined up and shot in the arm with a bunch of kids by the
Sneakers.
government. So that's my story. Okay, anyhow, so since I bored you out there, when
No.
did you actually think
Well,
to yourself, I don't trust the government?
In the last 2.5 minutes, I've been trying to think, and I think I think it was Chappaquiddick.
Oh,
I was
interesting.
watching. Now, Chappaquiddick was around that time because I saw a scandal on Fox the other about Chappaquiddick, and I think it was around. Bill and I were married in '76.
I know that story. Yeah, the
it's
series
kind
that
of
just came
around,
out.
I mean, are you that young, or am I that old? I don't know.
We're not answering that
But
on the grounds that might
70
incriminate us.
And you were 5 years old in '70.
No, 69.
Oh yeah, well.
Easy, I was not. I told you not. Let's move on.
right, let's move on.
Chappaquiddick. It's when I knew something was wrong. How old was I? I can't remember. Pretty old. I don't know, how old were we in '70? Do the quick math. Didn't work for
You
me.
got
21.
married. Yeah.
Oh, a lot older than 5. But that's when I said it's all fixed.
So you thought, so Chappaquiddick is really where you
22.
came to, okay.
22.
How about yourself, Candace?
When Lieutenant Cowley was prosecuted for what he had done in the military, that was 70-ish. I was like, but he's a soldier, and they tell him what to do, and that was the point. And I was talking to my parents about it, and they're like, yeah, they set him up. So that's when I figured it out.
I used the word trust, not to change. I did use the word trust, and I understand there are elements in people that we may feel we trust in the government, but I guess I should have turned it and phrased it as, when did you start questioning? Okay, so that's when you really started
that's
questioning.
good.
Chappaquiddick's where you started questioning. When did you start questioning the government?
When Kennedy was killed.
When Kennedy was killed.
Yep, my dad made a big deal about that, and I will never forget him, talking about the Mannlicher Chenur rifle and how it was impossible to do what that man allegedly did, to be able to pull off a shot like that 3 times in a row and be as accurate as he was. And he even, first time I ever was on an airplane, he took our family to Dallas, and we went to the book depository because he was so convinced that the CIA was behind that whole thing.
Wow.
And that's when I kind of started to think about, something ain't right here.
No, right about
What
Well,
he's saying is making sense.
Well, I don't say it jokingly. It's very very serious. I was very serious. That's when I really started questioning this government. But then I did go on to enjoy playing kickball and stuff like that, and saying it's not that big a deal. But after that lapse in time, probably for me it was around the Hoffa time, when Hoffa and Bobby Kennedy and some of that, with Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Hoffa, some of those things, I was like, wait a minute, a lot of this doesn't add up.
Look how much of this is revolving around the Kennedys and stuff.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And I'm working on something now that I mean, it's going to be really, really interesting.
Okay, here's my other
share it
question
with you guys off camera. But
I want to get some good time in today. So we were talking off scene, and Candace's husband, Army Ranger. Okay. Now it's just like I was telling you off camera that if you question some things, in the military, all of a sudden people try to put you in a category that you don't support our veterans, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. But the Pentagon is this major behemoth, and what I was told by somebody very high up, okay, a good friend of mine in the Marines, he was a secretary to a general for years. That was his job, secretary to a general, okay? He could type and everything, and he told me, he said, listen, when you get up around that general rank and those ranks up in there, it's not about being a soldier, it's about being political. It's a political move, it's politics, and they're playing every political game to get the next level, and that's just what I had been told by someone inside. So I'm going to tell you something, the Pentagon is this major behemoth that Trump is not accepting, that we're going to have people all around the world and spend our tax money just to satisfy the Pentagon. So what say you? I want everybody's opinion of the generals, Kelly, Mattis, McChrystal coming out. What say you of the generals leaving and some generals coming out and making comments where the Trump administration is concerned?
Well, I mean, I think it's a whole lot deeper than that. I think there are thousands in Washington, unelected people, that are making so much money off of the war machine.
Absolutely.
That they are scared to death of what Trump is doing, and that the gravy train is going to quit.
Absolutely.
So, I don't think it's so much the generals as this whole deep state, if you will, population that is living off of the actions of the Pentagon. And if all of a sudden that goes topsy-turvy, like I said, the gravy train is gone. They stop making money on war munitions and everything involved with keeping troops overseas, and the amount of money that we spend.
And I think that's exactly where Matt is. And I love
policeman.
Kelly. I'm never going to question their patriotism, their commitment to the country. But what happens is these men and women, and when they get to these ranks, it's not their patriotism or what they've given to their country, but they've been in there for 40 years, and that's the only life they know, is these behemoth bureaucracies that swirl around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What say you about Kelly, Mattis, and McChrystal coming out and some of the things that's taking place with the generals? And I want you to go right after that.
Well, the thing is, as my husband said, you don't get rank unless you are in a wartime situation, and there's a lot of generals, majors, lieutenant colonels that will, use their men as cannon fodder in order to get accolades and move up. And like he says, it's money for bullets, bombs, and body bags, and that's the gravy train. And people that are in on that, they don't want to lose that money. And I think basically the root cause of all the Trump hate is because of the gravy train possibly stopping somewhere and not coming back. And that's what people hate. And he's like, well, you know what? I made my money. I don't need the government's money. I don't need these people's money. So I'm going to do the right thing because I'm not motivated by this kind of greed, that's all it is. I mean, look at what the vice president with Halliburton, what's his name?
Cheney,
yeah, and Halliburton. Look at all that money they made. I mean, there's there's money in war, and that's what that is.
Well, when you explode something and blow something up, then the first thing you got to do is go in and build $1 billion power plant. That worked out for somebody. Okay, what say you about? Let's stay on the focus of these generals that have left.
I'm on focus.
She's sharp as a tack today. Back
I
off.
need to tell you.
That was
For once, I am on focus.
Don't do that.
Okay, so lots of money is made in war. I'm not sure the generals are the recipient of all that money. Halliburton is, and the people who make the bombs, the boots, the uniforms, and that's all orchestrated.
The unelected
Oh my
deep
God.
state.
But the generals and all of that deep state, they're there, and they have been operating for years in impunity. They can do anything they want. They are deep state. What they are losing, in my view, instead of money, the generals, is they're all in it to rule the world. You can say I'm nuts, but they want control of everything, and when that comes, and if it came, it was going to be harmful. So, Kelly, I loved Kelly. I don't think there's a spit spat. I'm not sure. I think there's things behind the scenes. McMaster's was a traitor. McMaster's was deep state. I would bank my next banana pudding, which the last one I made was just horrible. But nevertheless.
Too many Let's
stay on focus.
I want everyone to
not go banana pudding on us.
understand it was, McMaster's was bad.
I agree.
And there are a lot of other ones. And the reason that Trump's cabinet, etc., is turning over is he is now, but he was told, do this, do that. He was just in there. He wasn't a politician. Get McMaster's, get this, get that. Hello. When he found out who were the traitors, who were the spies in his thing, he got rid of them.
Functional.
And it took 2 years. And who was on his side?
Okay, well, wait a minute. I agree with that. So I agree with all three of you putting all that together. You're 100% on that. It's a behemoth, and Kelly gave the ultimate sacrifice, his son. All right, the sacrifice, don't discuss. The loyalty is just when you get up to 3 and 4 stars, you have been in there so long, that is the mindset. You have a discipline. So Kelly was very disciplined. They're very disciplined, but they have a mindset of this behemoth, and they have played the political games, okay?
Yeah,
and
look
they
at
have
Eisenhower and Patton and
right.
Monty. I mean, that was nothing but a political ploy the whole time. Eisenhower was the administrator general, Patton was the fighter, and Monty was the the gamecock. Because
they all had their own ego.
Okay, so let me change the question. Stay on the subject. Why did Trump bring these generals? Because I was talking to, I called my dad on New Year's Day, and we were talking about it, and I ran some of these things by him, and he said, son, why Trump ever let the swamp in the first place?
Keep your enemies closer.
All right. Why he said, I'm going to tell you now, all these people yelling about Mattis and Kelly leaving. He said, the Pentagon, these men are just big. They're part of that big behemoth that they got to break up, and nobody needs to be crying because these guys are sent out. But the thing about it is, why in the world did Trump let them in there to begin with? He should never let them in there to begin with. So what say you? Why were they in there?
The NSA, the CIA, this is the way Washington works. And I'm going to take a little different tack, if you will. Just like Dennis Hastert, they get something on somebody and then they control you. Every one of these generals probably has something in their past. And that's exactly what Mueller. That's how he got Flynn. I guarantee you that they've got something on him that he didn't want exposed, and they hold that over his head, and that's how they keep him going. Just keep in mind that Flynn was the guy that was in charge of the Benghazi area. Mm-hmm. You can read a lot into that, but I think that carries through all the generals, and that's how the deep state is controlling these guys, because they've got something on them. And you ask why Trump brought him in. I think that he's keeping his enemies closer.
Remember the statement of Comey saying when he was interviewed just 2 weeks ago, well, it was just 2 days into Trump's presidency. I thought I'd just run
and I could get away
McCabe
with it.
over there, and he wouldn't be savvy to.
Right.
You don't do it this way. That's what happened with the people Trump brought in. He did not have his political machine. He did not have a deep people behind him saying, do this, do that, don't get this person. He had to rely on some of the deep state he did not know was a deep state. He knew a lot when he went in. Not Christopher Steele, but Robert David Steele, or some of those people know the background. But and people were deep state that surprised me, even, you know.
I think he started to figure out what was going on once he brought these guys in. He said, "Wait a minute, he's a pretty quick study."
He's a quick study. One more thing, I had
Trump, that is.
Yeah. I have a great friend, brilliant. He went to Annapolis. We were in school together. Went to Annapolis, was on a submarine. Brilliant guy, was going to do career Navy. In a couple or 3 years, he resigned from the Navy. I said, Mike, what in the world? This is your career. You could be fabulous. He said, when I got into this, I could see that and he's, in my little town, we were honest. At my time, we didn't smoke any. I mean, we were just like father knows best kind of kids, sort of. I know you don't believe that, but it is blinking true.
And then what happened?
And he said, I am not going to live my life with one man that's over me telling me that I did one thing wrong, or making up I did one thing wrong, and affect my entire life. He said that isn't going to happen. So he saw all that corruption and you do this or you're out or you do this. He said it is just an insipid cesspool, and he was out of there. I'm sure he didn't tell many people that.
Well, I'll say this. I think
I didn't get to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I apologize, Candace. I apologize. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think he brought the generals in out of desperation because of all the leakers. You notice when Kelly came in, a lot of that tightened up. And there's a certain discipline about the military that is different than civilians. And I think that's why he brought them in. Then he was like, wait a minute, I thought these were the good guys. Okay, whatever. You know, he's a very production-driven person. You produce, or you're out of here.
Well,
and that's the way
Kelly started out, Homeland Security.
Right.
And Mattis, he started out Homeland Security, so he was there from the beginning.
In the beginning,
right,
private sector, after he retired from the military.
No, after he retired from the military.
Yeah.
Trump, remember, he was Homeland Security.
Right.
When I say started out with the administration, Homeland Security, Secretary of Homeland Security, that Kirstjen Nielsen has a job now. And then he moved into the West Wing. Mattis has been there from day one as Secretary of Defense. Now, I agree with all of you, but I disagree in one way, okay? I disagree in one way, and I'll give you this because I like to study Trump, and I admire the man. I know people out there, they talk about his character, they get into Mitt Romney, but I admire the man. And I just tell you this real briefly. I'm somewhere around 32 years old. Somebody called me up and said, we want you to move 1,000 miles, and we want you to take over this location. We want you to manage 60 people, and will you do it? I said, okay. I had no idea when I got there anything about the place. Knew nothing about the area. Knew nothing about the people that worked for me. Did not know there was already a place there with like 50 some people were already there.
Great analogy.
I knew nothing about anybody that worked there. I never met them, didn't know their kids, did not know the area, did not know the best place to get a cheesesteak, nothing. Nothing at all did I know when I walked in, right? And the home office told me, said, look, you have an administrative assistant that's been out there in the branch for 12 years. This individual's pretty loyal, pretty good, 12 years. So I went in, and the very first thing I did is I took a legal pad and I wrote down 5 things I needed to know. I had to know for that branch to be successful. And then I called the administrative assistant in, and I said, out of these 5 areas, who in this branch knows the most? Well, I'll say it out loud. I don't think it's why. Joey knew the most about food. Where you take the customers to lunch. I didn't even know where to take customer to lunch. But I wrote, and that's no joke, all right? So I brought those 5 people in, and I made sure they stayed so tight to me to where I could learn everything from them I needed to learn about how to manage that branch. Now, flip side, I do really think that Trump knew how to build a 92-story building. But I think like us, some of you have more insight, but like us, we wonder why we're in Syria. Trump was a private citizen that also wondered why we were in Syria. We wonder why we do this in the Pentagon. We wonder why. So Trump brought some people in, the best, and he sucked everything out of them he could possibly absorb. for 2 solid years, and he does not need them anymore.
Yeah, some was good.
You see what I'm
some was
saying?
bad.
But he sucked out. He learned. He let Mattis tell him on a daily basis why Mattis thought we should be here, here, and here. He let Kelly tell him on a daily basis why we should do this, this, and this. And then when he didn't need it, he did not fight them leaving. You understand what I'm saying?
That's how he operates his entire administration.
Right, exactly. But that's why I think he's brilliant. No matter what people think, I think he's brilliant. I think he acknowledged he did not know the military. But I think he acknowledged he had to learn, because I don't think he likes this globalist stuff. I don't think he likes our kids around the world. You take going back, he said, and I agreed, like, as a person just walking around the street, when we went to Iraq, I'm thinking, well, whether it's upset you or not, why don't we take the oil? So he's thinking the same thing. Why don't we take the oil?
That was
all
my
right?
first question.
And then this week he's saying it's Syria, and people don't catch on. It's dirt and what?
Sand and death.
Sand and death. What are we doing? That was lost.
Look at how many years we've been in Afghanistan.
So
you're the money that people have made.
You're not concerned. You're not concerned like the media that the adults in the room are gone.
No.
No, heck no.
All right, let's move. Let's move on to the shutdown. Let's just call it shutdown. What say you?
Well, I think it's all about Nancy getting the gavel in her hand before anything was going to happen. Now they're meeting today. What a concept, huh?
Last night she said she won't even give $1.
She said the answer is no.
Never say never.
I know.
Okay, so what do you say about? See, I threw it out as shutdown because it's. A lot of Americans, and it might not be over 50%, it might only be 30%, but a lot of Americans are thinking, we're not understanding yet why you guys don't go up there, work 90 days, and come home, and why you need to have a committee that meets year-round.
Why you have career politicians.
Yeah, we do not understand that. We think you should go for 90 days, have a legislative session. And actually, we're a union. I mean, if we would teach this again for the Republic, we're a union. So we have 50 internal governments, or 52 or 58, or what is it? What did Obama say that time?
I don't remember.
How many do we really have?
59 states.
59, right? Okay. But we have internal governments, right?
Right.
We have what I call the states' rights. We have, and that's our Constitution. And we have a federal government, and they should go and do federal government and come home. Well, so I'm like, what are we opening back up?
I don't understand why Trump doesn't sit down in the Oval Office and address the nation. Now, maybe he can't get mainstream media airtime, I don't know. But why he doesn't sit down there, and you brought it out on your show yesterday. All he needs to do is say one thing when Schumer says, give me one good reason we need to build a wall, and he marches out that 5-year-old who doesn't have a dad right now.
5-month-old.
5-month-old.
Yeah.
Ronald Singh.
He's dead. His dad's dead because of them.
Ronald Singh. I mean, that's just, is that not enough
Schumer,
reason?
I lost my temper, and I didn't want to, but when Schumer come out and he said, well, I did. I couldn't help it, because when he looked and he said, and he puts those glasses down on that porny New York nose, and he says, I asked the president directly, Mr. President, give me one good reason. Oh, if I would have had bada bing, bada boom, I better chill out.
I mean, how many other reasons you need?
Give
me
one good reason, and I'm looking at this December 26th, this corporal is, here's the thing that gets me, is the corporal, what's his name?
Singh.
They're not white. So I would think there would be this outpouring
he's an
of
immigrant.
Right, he's an immigrant.
Illegal immigrant.
Illegal,
but
yes.
He's an assimilated
legal.
immigrant.
He's assimilated,
that
legal.
hard.
Look at the little boy, look at the wife. They are not the white evil people.
Took English lessons to
So
learn
he
how to
could
talk
speak
over a
better,
police
so he could
radio better.
I understand. You would think there would be an outpouring from the minority side and the Democrats on this guy and being killed.
No, instead, they'll take a Democrat Republican, the woman from Michigan, who stands up and says, the first thing she says in office, the Muslim woman from Michigan, who's been castigated, stands up and said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to impeach the MFer.
That's right. They had to bleep
exact
it out.
words.
Yeah, I heard
They had to
she
bleep it
said.
out. And how about this?
On the
we
Detroit
got the
Free
shutdown.
Beacon.
We got the shutdown, and you know what? I don't give a rat's, okay? That's about my 2019 resolution. I don't care what if you get mad at me, I don't care. But damn it, I mean, excuse me.
Doggone
Well, that's my favorite word. I have to say it. Well, there's two, I guess. Hyphen, whatever. Damn it, I'm telling you right now. A head covering as religious head covering. Well, damn it, I think I love the Yankees. And I'm going to wear my Yankee hat in there, and I'm going to stand up and say, I have a church, and it's the New York Yankees, and this is my religious head covering. What the hell's going on here? I'm sorry. I should bring that down. Sorry about your customers, everything. Bada bing, bada boom. I didn't mean to get there.
Here's my point on the shutdown.
What say you? I mean, come on. I'm not, I don't want to get into the whole...
It's never been allowed, so why is it allowed now? She doesn't even need to be there.
Head covering as a religion. Last night, the House rules changed. And I
if
understand.
they jump on the Me Too movement with your doggone head covered, and I have a lot uglier words I want to say about that, I don't want to hear it, because those people have
she has
no
her hand
rights.
up. She was very polite. Go ahead.
As women, they have
she's
no
like
rights.
She's like the little girl in the third row. Put her hand up.
I like to always look at the big picture. So,
go with big picture.
So the big picture is you take Schumer a while back saying we've got to control the immigrants. You've got Hillary saying that. You've got this issue with this woman.
And Pelosi saying
it. And Pelosi, all of them. What you do is, what is one of the most baffling things is you take all of these incidents, and there could literally be hundreds of them.
Exactly.
Hundreds. And with intelligent people whom I know they cannot put that together and see what's going on. It is absolutely what's wrong is right, what's right is wrong, and it is obvious. So how can anyone explain Schumer saying now they're saying, we meant that, but we want to do it with drones, and Trump says you get a lot of pretty pictures with drones. That's true, but what do? You have to have a drone with a
hey, we have statistics.
It is obvious.
But they wouldn't listen to the
I know,
security lady give them statistics. They kept interrupting her.
What I'm saying is that there's enough evidence for any person who is through. If you were 5 years old, I'll give it to the 7th grade, who saw this evidence of flip-flop and how now they're turning it around. I mean, a good senior in high school can make a very good paper on this, and you can see how the manipulation is going and how they're not real. So I personally can't understand why the truth isn't coming out and people aren't understanding it, that think Schumer's the end all, Pelosi's the end all. I don't understand how
I listened to the House rules, and you might think it's very petty out there, but I listened to the House rules this morning, the new House rules and that they put in place.
I didn't hear them.
And the one is religious head coverings are allowed now. Religious head coverings, yes.
That's step one.
Going onto a plane.
All right. Religious head coverings are allowed on the floor of the House.
On the floor.
On the floor of the House, the House rules. Because you have certain decorum and your certain things, the House rules are the House rules. We have never allowed, you have to dress appropriate. Okay?
You can't go in there in blue jeans and a sweatshirt.
You have to dress appropriate. We have House rules. Now, they called it religious head covering. Well, you could put on, look, what if, and this is not a joke, okay? People identify all these different religions, and we won't go there. But what if somebody, all jokes aside, what if one of them walks in, because the women's movement is somewhat a religious movement, and I have so much trouble today, but I don't care. What if they walk in with a genitalia-shaped hat on their head? It said, hey, I'm a member of this movement, and
Me Too.
Huh?
Yeah.
The Me Too movement.
I'm just serious.
No, it
Where
could
does
go
it
there.
end?
Once you open the door, you're opening
it could
to
go
all
there.
kinds
There'd
of
be a
crazy stuff.
hubble and then they'd have stuff. Then someone would do something else just as bad. Hubble
All right.
and then it will work its way in.
Pelosi is in charge. I think it's been 60 years. I think somebody said, I heard 60 years since we had a Speaker of the House that went to Minority Leader that went back to Speaker of the House. Now, I told you, all cringing aside, and I understand why. I'm not a Nancy Pelosi fan, but I told you my 2019 winner, Nancy. Nancy's back in. She holds a gavel. This is the lady that gavelled in Obamacare. She ushered in Obamacare. Now, wait a minute. This is the lady that put the TARP package together. She was Speaker of the House when George W. Bush and handed them the TARP package, okay?
Yeah,
But
This-
she's just the Speaker of the House. That does not give you unlimited power
I
in the world.
understand that, but she knows how to work that power, and her daughter hit a home run. She'll
Yeah.
cut your head off, and
you
you
won't know you're
won't even
bleeding.
know you're bleeding, and that is true. She is ruthless.
She does have a lot of power because she knows a lot on a lot of people. It's
That's
that old
it.
black
Schumer-
and
That's
white
coming
thing.
back to exactly what I
Schumer
said.
is
That's how they
spineless.
control them.
Yes.
Right.
Schumer is spineless,
She
and
has
she is
his-
ruthless.
His genitalia
Okay,
stuff.
should Donald Trump, will Donald Trump, what will he do? Will he negotiate what happens on the shutdown? How long does it last?
He'll negotiate, and the longer it goes, the more the Democrats will be blamed.
I think
Okay,
that's
you
true.
think he'll
You
negotiate?
mean the more the Democrats?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But-
that's
but
what
here's
The
I
longer
thing.
it goes, the longer the more the Democrats are going to take heat over it.
That's right.
Because Swalwell comes on Fox and Friends yesterday morning, the representative out on the West Coast that thinks he's going to run for president, and he openly said that it's personal.
It is.
It's
personal.
not about the $5
It's
billion
not about
bucks.
the-
It's
any of it.
personal,
It's all
and he
Right.
said it on TV yesterday.
Quickly, what do you
I
say
think
about
that
that?
Trump will hold out, and then he'll get what he wants. But you know what I want to know, and he may do a Ronald Reagan like he did with the air traffic controllers. All these non-essential personnel. Why do we need these people? Why didn't he just send them home with a month's severance and say thank you ever so?
Not the time to do that, though.
No, I think that would be a cool strike because they're not essential. Why
No,
do
they're
we
not.
need them?
But the Dems would make so much of that.
Oh.
It would be too.
Well,
he can do that later, but I don't think it's the time.
I
to
think
do
that
that. It
that's-
is
What
the-
will Trump do?
It is the time to hold out. And
He'll hold out.
Will he hold out?
So
Yes.
listen, what will Trump do? What has Trump done? DACA can come in, heck, fire if you want to get away with the hell word. Trump said
I'm
DACA,
so sorry
DACA
for
can
my
come
bad
in. No,
language.
you're not.
All right.
They said no,
No.
and all this DACA malarkey.
We have to have it or we can't do anything. Okay, you can have it. Well, no, we won't do
Right,
it.
right. So and Pelosi was saying we've got to do DACA just yesterday. I mean, so what will Trump do? He will hold out because as much as I still dislike Lindsey Graham, although I just saw some stuff, they have proof that he was with McCain forming ISIS. And anyway, I don't like, but I think he has switched, turned because
He's
Trump
afraid.
knows what he's done, and he said, you know, you go with Bush and them, or you stay with me. Anyway, so I think Trump is going to stay to his thing. Lindsey Graham said if he doesn't, it could be his presidency. I thought that was a little harsh. However,
true,
we
I
are the
think.
red people. We are the red hats, the white hats.
I don't
that's-
disagree with Lindsey
If-
Graham
if-
on
if-
that.
No, that's true,
All
but
right.
it was a little harsh. But the thing is, Trump has got to do it because we will get.
You got breaking news, sir?
No, yeah, I do want to say there's a couple things I want to get to. Trump bails and negotiates a bad deal. Does he lose you? Does he if he caves and
Depends.
does he lose you? Does he lose you? Does he lose you?
It depends on the bad deal.
If
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
for
I-
$3
I don't
million,
know.
I'm 3 billion. That's okay.
He's got
or
the money
whatever.
already. He just
He's
needs
already
to
got money from the
jump this
So
GoFundMe.
you, as Trump supporters, have to feel like we got something tangible on border security.
I agree.
Because you do know that is the
That's his
thing.
backbone.
And that's the thing that the 1986 amnesty bill between Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan is the deal was, look, we'll do a one time,
And then we'll
okay,
secure the
and
border.
we'll secure the border, and we never got it.
Yeah.
That was the second part of the deal. So if you feel there's tangible border security that's about to take place, because Kirsten Nielsen did not get a chance to give her data that she
Whoa.
had. She got
what
cut
a
off.
travesty.
All right, and she got cut off. But there is data that everywhere we have completed border a border barrier,
92%.
it's gone down. Now, a couple things I wanted to do before we go and get to our winners and losers, and there's one other subject I want to make sure we. December jobs, 312,000 new jobs in December, and there's a picture of Trump cheesing. Record working, record.
Trump cheese.
945,000 record number of Americans at work today. Hispanic unemployment lowest ever. But no, they're probably not reporting that. They're probably taking pictures of garbage cans with garbage laying over. Okay, Apple, the stock market. Apple lied. Apple lied.
What do you know about that?
But you know where I'm going. Apple lied. Do you agree with my analogy of what I put together yesterday?
Absolutely, yeah. Sure, absolutely. They sold their soul when they went over to China. They gave them the keys to the candy store, and now
And yet
China's
they
going.
won't work with our
I
Department of
appreciate.
Justice.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving us all your secrets, because now we're making stuff cheaper, and
we're not Americans. We're not gonna pay $2 for your phone when we can buy one for $1.
Exactly.
That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And Apple jumped in and threw it off on Trump real quick. That this trillion,
That
you know
you're
what?
stupid?
That
Yeah.
this $1 trillion,
it's
and the
the-
media
yeah.
grabbed it. It's a $1 trillion corporation, lost $55 billion because they have maxed out in China. Just real quick, you guys know this. A lot in the audience, I know they know it, but I go over it because it burns me up that the media will not set this up. We all know that if you have a product you ship to China, the Chinese government requires you to have a Chinese distribution mechanism.
And a Chinese partner.
Wait a minute. So that's what I'm talking about. But I'm talking
sorry.
about if you have a product that goes in.
Yeah.
Now, if you go over and you build a product there and you want to have your company there, the Chinese send you your partner.
Right.
You do. No Apple, nobody. The Chinese send your partner to you. We know that. And the reality is they steal our proprietary information.
They have no use for our patent.
And we know they were doing it.
And
the people
Apple,
who did it knew.
Apple
I
had
didn't
no
care.
choice to get the 1 billion customers that they wanted in China, but to give up their proprietary information because they stole it. Now they're building their own.
Now it's
phones,
coming home to roost.
and it is. They have Chinese have their awesome phones.
Are you going to buy one of the Chinese awesome
But they're
phones?
but
Think
no,
about
I'm talking in
Not
China.
me.
They have their
I know,
awesome
but they're
phones,
going to be over here.
and they don't have to buy Apple phones.
That's right. Well,
Right, neither
you
are we
cannot-
gonna have to soon.
You cannot fix or repair stupid. You got in bed with somebody that's going to stab you in the back, and that's your own doggone fault.
I
Well,
can't
it can
say.
make we got Apple, we got Facebook. They lied. They're in trouble. He
Yeah.
lost how many billion? It was the most.
Well, and they
loss of
all
any
should
stock.
because
You
they're
got
crooked as a dog's home.
Google, you got Amazon. They're all
in bed together.
I did it because I lead the topic, so I missed. I'm sorry, folks out there. So many great topics. Nancy Pelosi, everything like that. Now, I don't mean great topics, Nancy Pelosi, but the Congress and what's going on
Interesting.
and what's happening. But we do have to get down to winners or losers, our final topic, because I got to get to 9:30. So what say you?
All right, I'm going to go with my loser, and that is our own representative, Hank Johnson. Once again, Hank went
That's
from
this kind of loser.
went from an island tipping where the Army is going to fall into the ocean to calling Trump yesterday outwardly.
That would be
Yeah, that
Guam,
was
comparing
the
him
tip
to,
over
yeah,
island.
yeah,
The flip over.
comparing Hitler to
I just.
Hitler took over the party, much like Trump has taken over
Exactly,
the Republic. And that's
yeah.
Hank
Didn't
Johnson.
Hitler
That's your loser.
create the
He's
Nazi
my
Party?
loser.
He didn't join it. He didn't like say, "Oh, I want to be part of that." He created the Nazi Party.
Do you have any losers? I mean, winners?
My winner is unnamed. My wife told me this story yesterday, and I said, that's going to be my winner. My winner was, my wife went through a fast food restaurant yesterday, and there was a guy, there was 3 cars up, that decided as a nice gesture for 2019, he was going to pay for whatever the 3 cars behind him ordered.
Oh, that is good.
And I thought that was, I don't know the guy, I don't know his name. I won't tell you what the fast food
I
restaurant
always
was.
think that is. I mean, that's so heartwarming. I just wish they'd tell me before I order. Oh, you're paying?
Look at this
I'm
guy.
sorry, just saying. Oh, so you're paying? Hey, super size.
Yeah, that doesn't work that way.
All right, go ahead. So that's
That was
great.
my winner.
That's a great. We have winners and losers.
My loser, and that's the L loser, is Mitt Romney, and I wrote an article about it. It's on Fetcher News and Clash Daily. This is a guy who's known as Miss Also Ran 2012. You had your chance. You blew it because you wanted to tiptoe around and be all sweet and nice. And now you're going to tell someone successful how you should do it? I'm sorry. Shut up. You're lucky you got his endorsement and you're a senator. You were born with a
junior
silver...
senator.
Yes, a freshman senator, because you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your dad didn't make you work for it. Yes, Trump's rich, but his dad did make him work for it. So, you know, I've just had enough of listening to Romney because he let us all down in 2012.
Get used to it.
Yeah, really.
Good point.
Yeah. Well,
All
he's
right.
he's.
So that was your loser.
That's
Winner.
my loser. The winner. I'm going to say the president's the winner because he he's still holding on. And see, if I was going to have a meeting, I would have a TV screen and I would have 3 separate sides where I had Obama, Pelosi, and Schumer talking nonstop sound bites about we have to build a wall, you can't come in here illegally. And every time they started, I'd be, excuse me, click. Isn't this you? Okay, thanks. Now, next, and that's the kind of guy he is, so he's always my winner.
I agree with that. And you?
Romney's the loser, and I really believe he's going to be a loser. He is going to hack off so many people.
He's already started.
And listen, the white hats are growing. Things are opening up. Here's my winner, and that I want to tell about another Blue Ridge hero that I do not know the name of. About 3 weeks ago, I was parked behind Riverstone. I put something in the car, but I put my phone on the hood of my car. That is a no-no. Ever. When I put it, I said, I shouldn't do this. I put the thing in the car, got in the car, drove out, put my metal to the pedal, and rushed up to Waffle House. And I said, I have a little kind of a sports car, and I said, I'm just going to blow this engine out. I always heard my boyfriend say that. I went, yeah, like this. It dawned on me, phone's on the roof. It's gone. It's flown off. It's crushed all my credit cards, my driver's license, my Medicare card, everything like that. I went, oh, Lord. I started praying right away. I turned, made a U-turn. I went back into Riverstone. There was a truck behind me, and I said, oh, that man, I'm going slowly. I'm looking for my phone on the ground. I'm praying, let me have that phone back, anything. I said, he is going to absolutely, he's furious. I don't care. So I pulled into where I'd parked. He pulled in behind me. I said, oh, my gosh.
He's coming after me.
He is going to give me so much, and what am I going to do? How am I going to react? I was getting ready. I stopped. He pulled up beside me, and I went, he says, lady, your phone is right on the back of your trunk. I've been following you all the way up there and all the way back to tell you your phone is sitting on the back of your car. And I said, you are an angel in disguise. That man
God bless
followed
him.
me around to tell me that. Now that's a good
nice
Samaritan.
person.
And how often does that happen?
A man following you around? Or?
Oh, yeah. Well, it used to happen.
I mean, I was just you asked a question. That was an open question.
Yeah.
I didn't know what part.
Where does the line start?
How often does that happen? Man, well, listen.
That was funny.
We have winners and losers. I thank you so much. We're running just a minute late. We're going to have Jesse Barton in here, Community Relations Director with Cameron Hall, North Georgia Senior Living. We're going to have, right after these, okay, Mitt Romney. Okay, I did a segment on my show. If you guys watch my show, you'd see these segments.
Some of us have to work.
They're on YouTube. I did a segment on my show.
Is your homework?
There's 2 things I want to leave you with because we're going to have plenty of time to talk.
Okay.
One of our viewers, I don't want to say upset, and I'm going to say right at top 5 of my favorite, and I hate to say favorite viewers, I love all of you, but my top 5 of my favorite viewers, a member of the research department sends me research, sends me stuff because everybody out there is a member of the research department. Sent me an email after one of our shows and said I sounded a little bleak, and I've dealt with that for about 3 weeks, and I said I'm just going to have to hold on to that, and I was never intending to sound bleak at no time. I like to stick on the reality side. Now I said you haven't seen anything yet. Democrats have already re-entered their piece of legislation for impeachment.
Articles of impeachment.
Right. Now, what they do when they re-enter those articles, they say, "Oh no, they won't work." But trust me, they're the ones that they pick. They pick certain ones to do that, so it doesn't. And then Nancy Pelosi can come out and say, "Oh, it's too early." Okay, but Nancy's already discussed our president getting indicted. Impeachment has to be on the table. I don't think you've seen anything yet. Okay, I think what Nadler and them are going to start to do, the new rules that they're putting together, they want to see the president's tax returns. So I don't think you've seen anything yet. Now, I'm not being bleak, but here's the thing, and I'll leave you with this. Mitt Romney, if you think he wrote the Washington Post, and that he is the only senator that knew that was getting ready to hit at 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to be very candid, you're wrong.
Right.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, I'm sure.
Because you already have Cory Gardner in Colorado that's broke ranks, that thinks the president should reopen the government without wall funding. Susan Collins. So here's what happened. I'm going to tell you. Mitt Romney's in there for 6 years. He does not have re-election. Mitt Romney, when he comes time to get reelected in Utah, should get reelected easily. Regardless of what Mitt does, he will probably get reelected. So he has no fear of that. And what he did is he took the heat. He's going to take the heat. And he started, and the line starts with Mitt Romney. And what they're going to do, and that's why he did what he did, they're going to start falling in line behind him in opposition. You better be in fear of that Senate.
Yeah,
of
he's
them
the
falling,
plant. He's
right,
the
he's
plant.
the plant. And they're falling in line behind him. Cory Gardner's already coming in the line. Hey, we need this. Collins. And trust me, if the Senate flips, it goes Democrat, and Trump does not win, okay, you will live in America under the American flag, but you will not live in the same country. It will be game over. I'm sorry. I know that. I
The
know.
revolution will start before
I understand.
that. I believe
now,
that.
my winner, I just say that, a big winner, I gotta go, but my big winner is the entire staff at Team FYN Sports and FYN TV. Over the New Year's break there, we had the Fannin County Park and Rec Christmas Clash basketball tournament. We had 66 teams from North Georgia, from all over, from Murphy to Madison to Forsyth. We had 66
Polk
teams.
County
okay,
even showed up.
right? Hall County. We had them everywhere, and our staff worked probably combined 60 hours in 3 days. No joke, is there's that many hours, but it was nonstop, and we ran it live. So I broadcast those games, and I would say when we first opened up, I would say, where are you watching and who are you watching? We want to know. So what kid are you watching? Because we get grandparents and everybody watching this all over the country. All right, so we started, who are you watching and where are you watching, and we'll give you a live shout out. I showed Rick this yesterday. See that?
Yeah.
Oh, see that?
Yep.
Afghanistan. The very first one, I said, where are you watching and who are you watching? And I got this picture, and he said, I'm a Marine in Afghanistan, and I'm watching my nephew play basketball live.
Hello.
Thank you, from Murphy, North Carolina. And that is, our staff did an outstanding job with that broadcast, and we gave him a major shout out, and he sent us back. And I just wanted to say, there are winners, they're around the world, and every time we do a live broadcast like that with kids, we get family members around the world to get an opportunity to watch, and that just makes my day, and it's what we do.
Yeah.
I got to go. Pet of the Week's here. Jesse Barton's here. I'm running behind, but don't you leave. We have a lot more going on. Thank you guys very much. I wanted to spend more time on Mitt Romney, but I knew I could really trust you guys to dig in on the generals thing and what's going on inside the White House, so thank you very much. Glad to have the group back together. Bruce will be with us next week. Take a break. Jesse Barton will be here in about 3 minutes.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Hey folks, we're back and we're at Circuit World here at Blue Ridge, and it's now time for North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. And did you think out there we were going to do 2 hours, first show of 2019, and somewhere, somehow, New Year's resolutions would not creep into our hours? So that's what you said. You want to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. You know what? I noticed something on Facebook the other day that I thought was cute, where somebody said New Year's resolutions. It's equal to a your January's 2-week to-do list. To-do list for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Right, all right.
I can see
All
that,
right.
though.
So, okay. All
Have
right.
you ever had a successful resolution that you've carried out through the entire year?
Yes. But I don't put that much emphasis. I don't say, okay, this is a resolution, that's a resolution. Okay. I don't do it that way, I guess. So I don't know. So I guess I've had successful New Year's resolutions. Some would say that I have to work on, because I do start every year saying, maybe I could be just a tad. You know what the measurement tad is? So it's a little questionable,
yeah.
Right? So that way it's not a defined number. So
It's kind of like adding ish.
Right. So I got it. There you go. So I think I could be a tad nicer.
Whoa.
just a tad.
I think
I say every year, I say, I should be a tad nicer maybe this year. Maybe not quite as confrontational or and things like that. I say that, and then next thing you know, it's January 2nd.
I know.
You missed a joke. I made it.
I was going to say, if you weren't those things, that wouldn't be Brian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. There you go.
So don't change.
You know what I tell people? They just don't get it out there. I'm the most lovable Grouch you ever met. I mean, Oscar the Grouch was in a trash can, but Oscar never did anything bad to anybody. He was just
Grouch.
Just a little grouchy.
So do we need to get you a trash can?
No, not really. I don't know. But people
Josh,
say,
can we do that next week?
People say, well, why are you so grouchy? Why? I'm not grouchy. I don't see it.
I would say Oscar
Wait a minute,
probably
we need to
said
get
the
off.
thing-
We need
same
to
thing.
get totally off of that. Okay, listen. Back to you, Phil.
That was a tangent, wasn't it?
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to bring a trash can next week.
All right, New Year's resolutions.
yes.
Talk about them.
So I decided this year not to make any. Mine was always the
Okay.
typical one: exercise more, lose weight. Those are our most popular. So
Got it. Okay.
I decided this year don't even do that. Just make better choices. Not set a goal, make better choices. So, but I figure that folks out there are probably making some of those same resolutions that I always did, to lose weight, to exercise more. So I just kind of wanted to do a quick preview of what we've got coming up for you this month. We've got Jessie Moore, who is with the UGA Extension Office in Gilmer County. She's going to be talking about some nutrition classes that they have. So if you have made a resolution to eat better, eat healthier.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe the doctor has told you to change your diet. Hint, hint.
I'm telling you. Is this a roast? I mean, Doctor, do you know Dr. Whaley has said that several times? Go on.
Oh,
all right.
no, I didn't know that.
Nutrition.
Innocently.
I agree. Nutrition is important. I agree with
Yes.
that. And so we're going to have somebody here.
She's
and
going
we're
to
talk about nutrition.
that, and she's going to tell you about these upcoming classes that are held every month. They do it for free, so I'm going to let her talk about that. She's also going to talk about maybe we want to save money this year as a popular resolution, especially as we're retiring. We want to budget, and we want to make sure that we've got enough to retire on, and that we're living not necessarily frugally, but that we're not going overboard with our spending. So they also have free financial classes. So she's going to talk about those two topics for us, which are two huge New Year's resolutions topics. And then next week we have Megan Jones. Megan is the director of Fannin Regional's Physical Therapy Department. She's going to talk about the importance of keeping moving, the importance of exercise, even when we don't want to. And I'm saying that more to me than you.
No, that's okay, because I know that department already over there at the Fannin Regional Hospital.
So Megan's going to talk to us about that, and she's also going to talk to, maybe you've got some elderly parents who you worry about their falls, you worry about their balance. So she's going to talk about the importance of maintaining physical activity and why falls can be so dangerous for our seniors. So she'll be on next week, and she's going to talk about the services they offer here at Fannin Regional. So I think we've got some great shows lined up for the next couple of weeks.
Well, let me say this. When we talk about seniors, Dr. Whaley, all jokes aside, he has done so many segments that involve movement, that he talks about movement, how much time a day, and as seniors.
Yes.
You know, continual movement, walking, exercise, and the importance of it, and the increase in your lifespan, your health, better health, everything about it. And he's done that. So those are some great things that I'm glad that we're able to bring. You know, I'm not opposed to, and I want to make sure fans and viewers, whoever out there, I'm not opposed to New Year's resolutions, so I don't want to be negative in any way whatsoever. If you've written down some New Year's resolutions, that's great. I hope you do stick to them. If memory serves me right, it takes 9 weeks to create a habit. If I'm right, okay. It takes 9 weeks to create a habit. So that's why you have to 3 months. Do it, and at the end of that 9 weeks, you know, it'll get easier. Then it becomes habit. So hopefully, whatever ones you wrote down and trying to achieve. So I have a particular question, and maybe, like, why did you not say, all right, I want this defined resolution this year? What was about this year that you said, I'm going to look at it a little different way? I'm interested in that.
For me personally, in my side gig, I'm a health coach and yoga instructor. So during those health coaching trainings that I would go to, we tend to set goals, but we don't really have any. We set the goal. We say, okay, for January 2019, I'm going to eat better. That's kind of like your TAD. That's not a defined, that's not. So we tend to say these things, and then we beat ourselves up because we don't reach them, but we have not given ourselves the intentional steps to do that. So I was like, rather than set myself up for failure and then feel bad that I didn't meet my New Year's resolutions as soon as I have that first pizza, then I'm just not going to set anything, and I'm just going to make myself on a daily basis be aware of the choices I'm making.
Well, I think what happens sometimes is we make resolutions, and then, you know, we get upset with ourselves when we don't follow through with the resolution. And I'm going to say this for myself, then we'll miss the point of why we made the resolution in the first place.
Sure.
And for me, and I'm just going to say this, I'll share this with you, I'm a morning person.
Really?
Yes. And people ask me, like, I come in here like to set up at 6:30 in the morning, and these people are like, could you, I live with somebody that says, really, you have to talk to me now? Okay. And these people are like, really, you have,
Let's wake up.
I sing at 6:30 in the morning. I just do, but I'm a morning person. But personally in my life, instead of having these long resolutions, I look at every day as an opportunity.
Sure.
I start every day knowing I have another opportunity, and then throughout the day, I squander the opportunity or make the most out of the opportunity. But I start knowing the opportunity's there, and then I have personal choice of making the best of that opportunity, or I could squander it and mess it up. But when I make a resolution and I don't meet it, then really what I just say to myself is, I didn't make the most of my opportunity,
Sure.
but tomorrow I have another opportunity.
That's true.
That's just what. So I'm a
That's
morning
true.
person. And that's just it. I don't know. Maybe that's boring. I don't know.
No, I like that because I think too often we associate New Year's resolutions maybe with something negative about ourselves.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, rather than the opportunity, one of my favorite, I'm a nut for motivational videos. So one of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas, says that when we have to look at how much effort we're giving something. So how much effort are we really giving these resolutions? What is a resolution anyway? Are we setting a goal, or are we just throwing something into the universe and hoping it sticks? So we take this resolution. Are we making the most of this opportunity? Are we giving it 100%? Because if we're not giving it 100%, then it becomes that we're looking at it as an obligation. So I have to change my diet, or I have to start exercising. We're creating this whole negative connotation around this resolution we've set based on something negative about ourselves. So why not look at it more as an opportunity, and are we making the most of each opportunity instead of looking at this as an obligation that we've got to do?
We have lifelong days of opportunity. And I'll say this, and we got to go, our pet of the week is right up, and we're running a little long, but, you know, I meet people and I greet them in the store, and they'll say, how are you doing? I'll say, I can't complain, okay? And I can't complain. And I got this from an old farmer, and this farmer was 98 years old. This farmer was 98 years old, church I used to attend years ago, and I'm in my early 20s. And I got this from an old farmer, and anytime you would see this old farmer, I would say, how are you doing, sir? And he would say, I can't complain. And it stuck with me. And I asked him one day, he's 92 years old, I asked him one day, we were sitting there in church, I said, why do you say you can't complain? He said, I'm 92 years old, and if I get up tomorrow, what in the world would I ever stop and complain about?
Wow.
Right? So I said, okay, so that stuck. So I say that to people, and I say, I see it, my greeting is, how are you doing? I can't complain. It stuck with me my whole life, talking with that guy. So people will respond, and they don't intend to do it that way. They'll say, what's the response when you say you can't? There's no use, nobody will listen.
Right.
Right? And I don't mean that to be judgmental of your response when I greet you. And I look and I think, no, I can't complain because the good Lord opened my eyes this morning and gave me an opportunity, and I can run with it all day and make the best I can out of the opportunity. I can't complain.
Right.
Now, there's somebody that I live with will tell you different, that if you really push, I could complain. So, but I find that a different level of complaint. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on these tangents.
No. But we just, we wanted to talk about, do you set resolutions? Do you not? Maybe we can even put something up on Facebook. We'd love to hear your thoughts on resolutions. And then be sure to tune in next Friday for Megan, who's going to talk about our exercise, why it's important. And we'll just say, if you don't set resolutions, like we may not, it's a good opportunity to learn something.
Folks, we're gonna go to break for our pet of the week, and we're gonna be right back with that. We're pushing right up on the 10 o'clock, so do not leave. We do have our pet of the week. The show is not over. And also saying that Jessie Barton is the Community Relations Director with Cameron Hall, and you're welcome to contact her at any time. And what would that number be?
706-515-4100.
Contact her at any time if you want more information about Cameron Hall and assisted living there, and anything as far as senior living. Contact her. She is our senior living liaison out there. She is the senior living to the stars or something. I don't know. We're going to come up with something real fancy next week. You like that?
Wow.
Go with the
I just sat a little taller.
Yeah, exactly. But anyhow, Cameron Hall, Community Relations Director Jessie Barton. Did you set New Year's resolutions? And next week, don't miss, because we are going to talk about exercise for seniors and motion and movement, and I know that's going to make Dr. Whaley happy, and many of you don't want to miss that. Jessie, thank you very much.
Thank
you
you,
have
Brian.
a great day. Thank you for being with us. 2019, we're back on track. We're going to take our break right now, and when we return, it's time for our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Yes, absolutely.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back and we're sorry it is 10 o'clock, but we're not done. We're going to take our couple minutes with our star of the show, the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, our first pet for 2019. I'm here with Rena. I want to thank you so much because we just finished a great segment, North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, and we were talking about this, and we're going to start 2019 with what I would find the perfect, and that's big, perfect's big, companion pet.
Yes.
And this is who's with us today?
This is Taylor.
Taylor here.
Yeah, she's
here, puppy.
Taylor. Look,
Taylor, look
here's
at
a
that.
treat. There you go. She's nervous right now because, and she's been here before, but she's just a little nervous. But anyway, Taylor was the mother to the 7 puppies that we had, and they all found a home. And I'm just really surprised that she hasn't. She's only 38 pounds. And she could stand to lose a few. I know we were talking about this. You guys were talking about.
I mean, is that the theme of the show? Is
The new year.
Has somebody been saying to suggestively in every segment?
We all have to lose a few. But anyway.
It's my holiday packs.
And she's about 4 years old, and she's been with us quite a while. I didn't look back. It's like 6-7 months or so. But she's the second that's been there the longest. Daytona has been there over a year, and then Taylor's after that. But she's a great dog. She is such a loving dog. She'd be a great companion, a great couch potato. She walks well. She loves to go for rides. She would just be a great dog. She doesn't, require much. I mean, it's not like she plays a lot. She can, but she's just a nice laid-back dog. So it would really be nice to find her a good, loving home. If you come to meet her, she's a little, I don't want to say standoffish. She's nervous. She's a little nervous meeting new people. She has to know that she can trust you, just like most shelter dogs. I mean, they're there for a reason. Someone's given up on them, and life is different in the shelter. But it wouldn't take, she got a burp. It wouldn't take few minutes and she'd get to know you, she'd be fine, and you'd see just a wonderful dog she is.
Folks, the Humane Society of Blue Ridge.org, you can find their website and their Facebook page, and we're so happy to start 2019 with this beautiful pet, Taylor. And again, we're talking about companion dogs. And look here, I mean, this young lady is proving to you this morning right here on the camera how she would just sit next to your side and be your best friend. And I don't think it'll take a full day. If it's just you and Taylor, and one day you're best friends. And what a great, now the great thing is we're talking companion dogs. The Humane Society of Blue Ridge.org, they do a great job with pairing up. If you have a dog already, you do a meet and greet, and they have dogs out there that assimilate real well within the family. They're very good professionals out there to try to help in every way put the correct pet in your home, as far as small children, older children, other pets, what kind of pets. So
yeah, Taylor's one of the few that we know is okay with cats. We don't really have a way of testing them, and I know
Taylor's okay with cats. Okay, so Taylor's okay. We got that in, all right? I was on a roll, but we had to get cats in the conversation.
Well, you said, all kinds
all
of animals.
right, okay, yeah, all kinds, all right? So anyhow, the point is that they will work with you. You call them up, Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. You find them on their Facebook page. It's really simple to find, Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. They have their hours of operation. Everything's on there. And you can also see their pets. They have pictures of the available ones, their times. You plan a meet and greet, you go out, and they work with you, and we like to find what we call their forever home.
Yes,
so
very true.
Anything else that we're missing this morning that we need to make sure we get information out to the viewers?
No, we have a lot of dogs that need homes, and just come on out and see if we can find you your companion. It may
Dogs
not be Taylor,
and cats.
There's and kittens, yes.
There's two sides out there.
Yes, there is.
I hear there's another side, but no, but all jokes aside, there's plenty of kittens and plenty of dogs to pick from. And again, that's the Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. Now, for 2019, although we're running it just a little over here at the 10 o'clock hour, I want to make sure you understand the Humane Society of BlueRidge.org has an intake policy that they go through how many days?
14 days.
14 days of intake. So we'll start out 2019 and let you know that. So when you adopt a dog, you're guaranteed a disease-free dog.
Yes.
Spayed, neutered, and chipped.
And
So that's all the big things that come with it. And also, if they have a dog with puppies, you can adopt. And you can adopt, and you have to come back when and finalize the adoption.
Yes, foster to adopt.
Foster to adopt.
Yeah.
All right, foster to
Yes.
adopt. Then you have to come back and finalize when they're of the age to be spayed and neutered.
Correct. That's
all right. So if you can come out if they have puppies and foster to adopt. Okay. So they have so many great ways of getting you the pet. Okay. Your forever pet. And our today's focus is Taylor here. This beautiful young lady would make a great companion dog. So go to Humane Society of BlueRidge.org and find their Facebook page. And don't forget, they're always in need of volunteers.
Yes.
And you can send information. Volunteers needed. We need your help there. All right, good.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
You come here. All right.
She's just a little nervous.
She's just a little nervous.
She's a sweetie, you can tell.
Best friend in a day. Where are you going to get that from? I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. in the office, and then we'll be back here at Circuit World next Friday. Same lineup, same bat channel, same bat time. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but we're out. You enjoy the weekend.